Hey everybody, this is Voxin Sandra, and welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Gladius, and the Necrons, and us trying to do the impossible. Literally, we're trying to beat this game on impossible. If for some reason you've decided to join us right now, which would be very odd. There's a bunch of these guys. Oh, by the way, I mentioned last time that I thought maybe these guys had been in a Fantasy Flight RPG. I don't think so. I think I was thinking of the Jutvel, which were basically, they're weird, and they're also shattery, but they're also crystally, and they're dead-ish. It's very confusing and hard to explain. But yeah, I don't think the Umbral were in there. But there's plenty of good stuff in there, obviously. Oh, also, something that I mentioned way back when. I mentioned that, or rather I said that the, well, we'll talk about them actually in a little bit when we actually start building them, which will probably actually be right now. So anyways, so we will talk about them later. Actually, no, let's talk about them right now. Flayed ones. So before I said that, Flayed ones were, thought they were still alive, and that's why they, like, hung flesh on themselves. That's either completely wrong or just an old explanation. And with Warhammer 40k lore, it could be either or both. But the current reason that the Flayed ones do what they do is that they are basically the result of a curse from one of the Chitan, who was themselves named the Flayed One, who was one of the few that they definitely killed, and they definitely, like, actually destroyed instead of just imprisoned. He was a bloodied warrior, and then he cursed them like that, so that they would have that madness. And apparently it's, like, actually infectious. So most Flayed ones are ostracized and rarely, if ever, actually used in battle anymore. Although I think there is such a thing as a Flayed Lord, which is obviously a Necron Lord that got turned into a Flayed one. They have rules for them, but I don't think they actually have a unique model for them. At the very least, the wiki doesn't have anything on them, which surprises me. Or doesn't have much on them. But, yeah. Oh, Cryptek can get a level. Awesome. Let's see, if you... you can take them out. Where is... there they are. Let's get rid of them. And this doesn't... that does count as 3, okay. That seems cheaty. I didn't even do that on purpose. But, oh well. Unless I actually got another artifact somewhere? Like an actual artifact up here? No? I didn't think so. So yeah, I think because we lost this and then we gained it back again, that counted as 2 instead of just not holding on to it right. I don't know if that was something to do with, like, a weird save or what, but, you know, I'm trying to do this impossible. I am not going to complain. Also, get this over here so that we can get some loyalty. No reason to completely hamper ourselves like that. Ooh, once again, there's a lot of guys, which again, I kind of like, because it means that there aren't actual factioned enemies that are trying to kill us right now. Alright, fine. Shoot you. You continue to heal. Boom. Crap. Oh no, these two should be able to do it. If enough of them survive. Hold on. Let's have... yeah, we got plenty of stuff for that. We have plenty of stuff, but it's not actually affected, but that'll take them down. Okay, good. Let's go kill these ambles. Because I want to take this, and I want them not to, and I want them dead. And you guys can join in with the rest of the main army. I wish I remembered what the next quest was, but I didn't actually get this far in my couple test runs, so I don't quite remember. So if you go over here, how does a Void Strike do against them? That actually does less. Ugh. Okay, you go over here. Castellan's still not something we want to leave lying around. We did get a second slave on there. Okay, so now let's get some loyalty going. And we could get heavy destroyers. We could also get, let's get extra infantry armor. Necrons do like their infantry, alright. Okay, Lord can take that, right? Yeah, take that right on the chin, doesn't even care. Alright, kind of want to get rid of this, and actually I think I will, because we can do that quite quickly. Boom, boom, and you finish them off. Annoys me how much protection they get from being in forests, but what are you gonna do? If you go over there, let me give you guys some extra invulnerability just to keep yourselves alive. You get rid of the Chaos Cultists. Get some flayed ones in here. One of the only melee units they have in this game. Necrons, if Necrons have weaknesses, at least in the tabletop, it is the fact that they are slow as molasses and they have almost no melee. Although they've gotten better melee in the last couple editions, because in the last couple editions they also got some new kinds of destroyers. So basically, the destroyer cult, I think I mentioned this before, are the guys who just want to, who don't think they're going to get their bodies back, so just want to destroy everything. And most of them look like the destroyers we've seen before. I haven't actually unlocked any of them this playthrough, but you know, with the saucer bodies, those weird, like, I don't even know what you would call those, but you remember them. But then now they've also gotten some new guys who are basically they've got like 4 legs and like stabby Tonfa. They're like, and they got like some of them have Tonfa, some but they're close combat guys, and they also have their own unique version of the Lord. So, if you really want, you can field a fairly decent Necron melee army now. I think. I don't actually play the tabletop. I may be a crazy collector, but even that's a little too much for me. I don't play the tabletop, I just have the books, like, right next to me. Although the Necrons, for some reason, I have no Necron codices. And when I realized that, I was really sad. I need to find one of them. One thing that's kind of interesting to note about the Necrons is that with their gaining, that they have definitely been gaining in prominence lately. Because in the newest edition, the basic box you get, like the starter kit that you can get, is Space Marines versus Necrons. And usually it's been either Space Marines versus, it's always Space Marines, because of course it is, but it's usually either versus chaos or versus orcs. So this is interesting. Let's go for the Doomsday Arc. Doomsday Arc is very good. Also, everyone say hello to Zeus. He is a kitty. Just a second. Alright. Kitty will not distract me, though, from my destructive aims. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the Necron dynasty here. The problem is I don't actually know anything about the Necron dynasties. Like, they are one of the... I still consider them new. Like, the idea of them having personalities new, even though that was... I think that retcon was in, like, 5th edition, and we're in 9th edition now. So, really... It was kind of a long time ago, but you know, it's what I started. That was the status quo when I started, so it's a little hard to change it in my head. But what I can talk about a little bit is one interesting thing about them is the Silent King. So he was the last king of the Necrons. He was the last High Pharaoh. And he's the guy. So he's the guy who made the deal with the Chatan to give them their metal bodies, and then also the guy then who led the revolt against them. And he basically, after the War in Heaven, basically said, "Well, I have clearly messed this up. Everyone else, all the vassal states, you guys do the best you can. I am going to go exile myself." And so he took his clan, his dynasty, and basically just headed out into deep space. And he never went into stasis, so he's actually been awake in the intervening eons. But on his way out, he unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you want to interpret these things, basically ran headfirst into the Tyranid swarms. And he basically figured that, well, if all biologic life in the universe is destroyed, then my people can never become biological again. So he turned around to warn his people, and he's been trying to rally them to fight the Tyranids ever since. Okay. High tank, secure the perimeter. Alright, where does it need to be? That's just annoying. That's not going to be hard. That's just annoying. Okay, well, let's get everyone we can headed up here now. Our sojourn to do anything else has been interrupted by effing Vespids. No, these are Sycurnum. That many Vespid squads might actually be a little tiny bit dangerous. These guys probably not going to be dangerous, although that could fairly easily snowball out of control, just with you know, because every time they kill, they make a new one of them. And I think those were, I think I've mentioned this before. I think those were part of the lore, but I don't know where. So, I have nothing interesting to say about them. Another reason I'd like to talk about the Necrons, but I'm not going to, is I have no real sense of how you're supposed to pronounce, like, anything. Like, the Silent King has a name, and I could spell it out. In fact, it's going to be on screen right now, but I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, and I don't know how to... You're supposed to pronounce most of the Necron stuff, and that just... I feel like that... It's just like, yeah, these guys, the guys who are, you know, just talking about titles and all that, I just feel like that makes things way more confused, and I might as well just sort of skip it. Again, because most of what, because most of what I would talk about is stuff I have really just figured out myself. Of course, the lore is always just super interesting and crazy. One thing I will talk about here, and I think then we'll call it an episode because I forgot to start my clock and I have no idea how long we've been going. But one thing I really appreciate that Games Workshop does is that they make a very conscious effort to keep the universe so big that fan contribution is canon. Because basically, like, the idea is that every single faction, even the, you know, we're practically extinct Eldar. Like, there's too many factions to properly categorize, and no one even themselves actually know all of them. So, you know, every faction, in whatever way that they're broken up, when you want to make your own version of it, it's basically Games Workshop can basically, as long as it's like even remotely plausible, Games Workshop is pretty much like, yeah, that's probably canon somewhere. So yeah, for the Imperium, it's the fact that no one knows how many planets there are, and every planet has its own Imperial Guard regiment. For the Space Marines, nobody has kept track of how many foundings. No, well, you know how many foundings there were, but no one knows how many Space Marine chapters were made in each one. So their numbers are completely unknown. They're just with having an unknown number of worlds, that means that there's an unknown number of shrine worlds for Sisters of Battle and forge worlds for the Mechanicus. Their orc bands are always forming and being destroyed. The Necron dynasties, no one knows how many there are left because a lot of them got destroyed in the Great Sleep. Not all of them did. And yeah, like even not the Necrons, even the Eldar, like nobody, even though they're on the brink of destruction, like nobody actually knows how many craft worlds there are, and so no one actually knows how close they actually are for being destroyed. So I kind of like that. I kind of like that expansive feel. I know some people don't like that. They feel like that sort of means that since the galaxy's infinite, it's like, oh, well, who cares if anything gets lost? It's, you know, it doesn't matter. There's more of it out there. But I mean, I think they're kind of missing the point, but also I like the fact that it's so expansive. I like how that feels. But that'll be the end of this episode. Sorry for rambling at the end there a bit. But we're sort of getting back into plot now. So this will be the end of this episode. And next time we will hopefully get everyone into this ruin and see what happens next. This has been Vox and Sander. If you're enjoying the series, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about my rambling in the comments. And if you're enjoying this series, please check out my other series, or suggest other series that you'd want me to do. And I will see you guys for the next time. Bye-bye.